Welcome to Split the Defense.
Split the Defense.
LEAFS Postgame Edition. Split the Defense is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004, serving the Kingston and surrounding areas. Alongside co-host Craig Pearce and producer Ted Evans, here's your host, Jordan Webster.
Joe Woll makes 41 stops and a Nick Robertson goal puts the Leafs at 10 double-digit goal scorers. But a late push isn't enough as Carolina is just too stingy and the Leafs fall 2-1 to the Hurricanes. We're back on Split the Defense, Leafs postgame. I'm Webby here with CP and producer Ted in the booth. The Leafs beat up on the Oilers last night. Clearly had no gas tonight. It just wasn't clicking, couldn't get a bounce. Thumbs up this episode, subscribe to our YouTube, rate us 5 stars, and get her going in the comments. Why don't you tell me what you thought of this one, CP?
Well, Carolina's a good team. They seem to have Toronto's number. I think it's like 8 in a row they've won, something like that. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, Freddie to me is just such a good goaltender. Most of his struggles have been like injury wise. So like you see really like, you know, what we used to see as Freddie as a Leaf. I like Carolina. I think I would hate to face them in the playoffs. I think like they're just such a good team, like top to bottom. They got a really good structure, good defense, like good team buy-in. It's like, I don't know. I would hate to come up against them. So hopefully that doesn't end up happening.
Yeah, well, they still got a whole mid-city forward group, but they definitely have a strong structure, definitely all buy-in. And the new acquisitions are adding to that in Jake Ensel and Kuznetsov. And it's really showing this Carolina team is a force to be reckoned with since the trade deadline. Even a couple games before that, they really started finding it. So adding these two guys and them clicking, Carolina Hurricanes are a scary team to go up against tonight. So we had some new lines. We had Bertuzzi back in, we got Brody back in, and Lyubushkin back in tonight. Why don't we start off with the top line? What did you think of Bertuzzi, Matthews, Domi together?
It was okay. I mean, like they didn't really get much going. Like this was kind of the like example of like where it can be such a like hot night one night and then the next night, you know, like Matthews, it's not like there's a lot of effort there from him. It's just couldn't get things going. Like not a lot of cycling in zone. It's a tough one really. Like, I don't, it's hard for me to really come up with much like of an analysis, like just based on like Carolina's like structure, just kind of counters Toronto pretty well. And like Toronto had like good waves and Matthews like had some chances, but most of the chances were like, you know, he was going to have to make like an incredible shot. Like, you know, it's not necessarily any like easy tap ins. And wasn't like, this felt a little bit like the post game where like they hit 7 posts, but it's just like, it just seemed like nothing was kind of generating in a different way. Like, I don't know. What did you think?
Well, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You can't give up goals that early. They start off another game like that. You know, I don't know what to think about this team because it's either they come out really, really hot and they score in the first 20 seconds or they lose the game in the first 20 seconds. Or, you know, maybe not necessarily lose it, but put themselves in a hole. So it's kind of hard to judge the team on how it is because they're either good or they're bad. You know, seeing tonight against Carolina, like I said yesterday, this is a playoff matchup. Like, even if Carolina's may not be the team that we face, may not even get that far, but like they play the kind of hockey all regular season long that is successful in the playoffs. And, you know, it's not so much holding on to the puck. It's more grinding. But, you know, having the guys that they do now that can make these plays, you know, it's Carolina's definitely a team you wanted to match up against tonight and play well. And I just think that maybe the back-to-back fucked that up because the Leafs didn't really play well. They didn't look great to me. I will say like a lot of bounces didn't go for the Leafs tonight. Every time Carolina had here, let me try this, it seemed to hit off somebody's leg and get behind the Leafs, and they were in the offensive zone. And on the other end, the Leafs couldn't get a bounce to go their way all night long. And consistently, like you just said, Matthews was tied up tonight a lot. Like he didn't really get a lot of clean looks. And then there was a whole bunch of, off the back of the goalie sitting in the crease and off the bar. And it was just a messy, messy night. So I really don't know what to take from this game. I'm not going to shit on the Leafs. Like they just beat the hell out of the Oilers last night. Carolina's a good team. And I still think the Leafs could pull it together and do damage in the playoffs. I don't think this game tonight decides the Leafs' fate for the playoffs.
No, like it actually to me is like it's not like I don't like to lose, but like it was only 2-1, and like the structure of the Leafs was pretty decent. Like the two errors are really, well, I guess one error is like McCabe makes a pass to no one, right? And then the other
Yeah.
one, like it hits off his knee or leg or something and deflects into the net. So like in total, I'd say it was like a pretty good like defensive game from the Leafs. Like they let a lot of shots on net, and Wall played amazing. Like we didn't do first star, but he would have been mine because like really kept them in it. And so it's like it's not all lost. Like this isn't a game to me where I'm mad at the team for a like poor effort or anything. It's just a better team than Edmonton.
And it could have went the other way like several times. Like how many opportunities did they have to bury where they were just inches from cashing? I mean, at one point, Liljegren misses a wide open net. Frederik Andersen's flopping around on the ice like a fish, like we're playing Chell 24 and the pressure meter's way up. He's just flopping all over the place, and so the wide open net, Liljegren just fires and goes wide of the net or over the net. Like it was just, they had so many opportunities. It's not like they got completely massacred or murdered. They're coming on a back-to-back, and Carolina's a good team. So what can you really take from it? Not much.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than the last time they played each other. They didn't blow like a lead or anything. So like I'm happier with this loss than that one. So yeah. Speaking of like the wide open net from Liljegren, like it's a little off the like moving topics, but like how many times did Freddie Andersen just get like destroyed in net? Like by mostly his own team. Like one was Bertuzzi, but like no wonder he's hurt so much. Like they really don't take care of him. Like I honestly could count probably like 4 or 5 times where like their own player like just right straight through him. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. No, that's not good though.
Yeah.
That's not good at all. Well, Frederik Andersen's got to be used to that because he got a lot of that here in Toronto. The Leafs, they pointed out tonight that the Leafs decor, there wasn't a guy under 6'1" on the decor tonight, and that was Morgan Riley. And Timothy Liljegren, I think, weighed the least, and he was just a few pounds less than Riley. Big boys back there now, but that always wasn't the case. So, Frederik Andersen's used to dealing with this shit. And his health issues haven't necessarily been because of that.
No, a little tongue-in-cheek by me, but yeah.
But yeah, I think he's doing just fine. But in the first period, the Leafs give up 13 shots, 15 shots in the second period, and I think it was another 15 in the third period. It was 14 in the third period. So they really didn't have a good period all throughout the game. There wasn't a single period. Would you say there was a period at all that the Leafs won tonight?
That one, no. Like, yeah, no.
They never looked like they were the better team.
They played like better than Carolina for stretches, but like in total, like it felt like Carolina controlled the game. And like where you say like it could have gone like the other way, like it could have, but it would have been one of those games where that friggin' stupid deservometer would not have been in the Leafs' favor. So it's just, like they had the chance to kind of change the tide, but Carolina deserved the win in my eyes. They played the better game for sure.
For sure. So what about that Robertson penalty that he took? Whacking the puck out of the air in the offensive zone. Like I don't even know what he's trying to do. It was like he's playing a piñata. It wasn't even baseball. Like I was going to call it a baseball hack, but it's more like hitting over the head. It's like swinging an axe down a wood. I have no idea what he was doing. Scores a goal after that tonight. Does that make up for the stupid play? And how are you feeling about Nick Robertson? Is he the odd man out?
I mean, yes, he is the odd man out. I think that it feels good that he got a goal, but like that play before that is the exact reason why he's not in the playoff lineup. Like he should have taken a line change before that, and then he just goes to like decides that hitting a puck, even if it isn't a player's head there, like that's getting blown down anyway. So like, and I don't know, that was the worst play. Matthew Nyes was on that shift, and his expression said it all. Just like he couldn't believe that Robertson did something so stupid. So, and that was a bit of a momentum killer too. Like the Leafs kind of had like a few back-to-back shifts that were good, and then that happens. And I mean, yeah, if everyone's healthy, there's no spot for him. I can't even like Reeves, I don't think there's a spot for either. Like both those guys, I think I'd rather Gregor in because like he makes like some mistakes, but he's been kind of keeping them not to like so detrimental to the team. So yeah, like I know, right? I think Robertson's just kind of he is who he is, and I think that scoring is great, but he's not fitting in this lineup, and so whether he fits next year, then maybe, but I still am on the boat that I think that this guy should be shipped out, and probably like this deadline was the time to do it, but we'll see.
So Timothy Liljegren skated 22:43 tonight.
Played a lot with Riley.
And he played a lot tonight. And that is more than Jake McCabe, who skated 21:22, who was playing with TJ Brodie. Now, TJ Brodie only saw 17 minutes tonight. What did you think of Brodie's game? And obviously, Lily's getting a little more time and a little more trust.
Yeah, this is like, I'll start with the Liljegren. So Liljegren is like Keefe did exactly what like we said he shouldn't do, and instead start pushing this guy up the lineup, because like that's normally when things start to go awry a little bit, and especially with someone like Riley that's not going to cover for him like someone like Edmondson would. So I thought it was like, when I first saw it, I thought it was a little dicey, but they actually did like fairly well together. It was a pretty decent combo, and like Keefe is doing his old thing again too, where like he's just trying to win a game, and so whoever's playing well, and that's Liljegren tonight and not McCabe, I think that like he's just going with the guys that are doing it. So I don't like it because like I want to find pairings that are going to be the playoff pairings, and it's not Riley and Liljegren. That's not a pairing that I think is a playoff spot. So I don't know, like I just hate when he starts tinkering to try and win games when like down the road it's not what's beneficial for the team. So, and then Brodie, like not necessarily a great game for him, like not necessarily a terrible game. I thought like he made quite a few mistakes, and he looked kind of rusty for being out for only 2 games. It's one of those where like it was
Rust?
Yeah, like I don't know. I think that he is the 7th defenseman currently, and like they've held on for so long. Might even be the
8th because Timmins looks really good.
Well, yeah, that's pushing it, maybe.
I mean, Timmins has looked good the last few games, and honestly, it's not like your track record does not fucking matter this time of year. When we're going in the playoffs, it's what have you done for me lately? And if you're hot and you're doing well, like, you're in first. Like, you know, I mean, maybe Keefe is going to ride that, but he knows Broads has been having a tough time. Broads knows he's been having a tough time. Like, sure. It's not a secret. Like, everybody knows. So, like, I think that honestly at this point he may even be the 8th guy, and he's just going to be filling in on these back-to-back games, and I don't even know how many more of those there are. I don't think we see much more of TJ Brodie on this Leafs roster.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if they're a 1-round team, then that's true. But like everyone always says, like you need 8 or 9 defensemen to win a playoff, like to win the Stanley Cup. So like I guess it depends how deep their run is. You'd see them more and more as it goes on. So
I love your optimism.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see a lot of TJ Brodie this playoffs. Just maybe not in the first round.
Yeah, because you have to. Yeah, exactly. 10 games, maybe 25. That'd be nice. Yeah. Anyways, so what else do we got here? Joe Wool. Okay, Edmondson putting his hand on the puck in the crease. Good move or bad move?
Pretty decent move, I think.
Paid off, right? Yeah, so if it didn't pay off, if the puck went in the net, I think you would have said differently too. But I think we both agree that the juice was worth the squeeze.
For sure on this one. Yeah, like because the puck didn't go in on the breakaway. It's kind of like when you take the too many men penalty, like on purpose, kind of you push it because otherwise it's going to be a breakaway. So like it felt like that to me. Like you're taking, and I'd rather a penalty shot than a penalty. So it's one of those two where the ref, I don't know, is that how it's written in the rule book? I guess is how it is. And
yeah, it is, because it would have been a 5-on-3 at that point as well. So they dodged the big one there.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, that's just another vet move by Edmondson. Like, I don't know. Not many players I think make that right decision. So the only thing is that are you allowed to punch the puck? Because like a lot of these guys that make the mistake to put their hand on the puck, like there's always the opportunity to just keep your hand on your stick and punch it. So I'm not sure what the ruling is
Split
because
decision,
I'm pretty sure the
really
rule though
quick.
is hand on top over the puck.
Yeah, and he clearly had his hand over the puck.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, man. It's hard at that time. I think he probably didn't mean to cover it the way that he did, and it's just hand-eye coordination, split decision so quickly. That's what happens when you reach for the puck and try and push it. But like I'm not gonna say that he like tried to go and cover the puck and
I think he did.
take it like some sort of ball or whatever, roll it across. But that's not what happened.
I think he knew what he was doing. Like he knew it was going to be a penalty.
I think it was kind of supposed to be like this, but
Yeah.
he ended up covering the puck. It was a split
Right.
decision. It's
But it
hard
was
to make that call. But we're lucky that it's a penalty shot instead of a power play, because the Leafs would have been pooched at that point. I think they probably would have blown the game then. Even though they lost it in the end, at least they were in it till the very end. It was a good fought game.
Oh yeah, like still an entertaining. If that had gone into it, probably would have gotten away, like especially interest wise, but play wise, like they may have given up a little early too. So yeah.
So was the goal that was scored tonight on the power play? I don't think it was.
The one on
Was it?
McCabe was, where it went off his leg.
No, the one that we scored. Robertson's wasn't.
Oh,
on the power play,
Robertson's.
was it?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so we have not scored a power play goal on Carolina yet this year.
Yeah.
That's bad. Yeah, so hopefully we don't meet them in the playoffs, because we pretty much got us special teams wise. Like our penalty kill is brutal, and we can't score a goal on the power play against Carolina. You're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, they're just better all over the place normally. Like it's been years, I feel like now that they've been dominating. So yeah, tough team to come against. I'm excited for the playoffs this year. I'm always excited for the playoffs, I guess, but it's just getting so close. Like we got 12 games left, and I'm just like looking at all these teams that are going to be exciting, to not that Carolina's the most exciting. They've been kind of one of the most boring teams to in the past 5 years, but they're just like a strong playoff team. And like you said, the additions that they made, like I'm probably going to be watching a few Carolina games more than I ever have, I think.
You can speak for yourself on that one, CP.
Yeah.
I will.
Don't you just watch all playoff hockey though? Like it's like it's so much better than regular season.
I pick and choose for sure. First round's a lot more fun. Second round, like I think we've talked about this, I get butthurt. You don't watch the second round if the Leafs get knocked out. Come back maybe in the third. But I don't know. Carolina, they don't excite me. I fucking hate the way they play. I hate their style. It's going to win. If they win a cup, then it's all going to blow up in my face, and we're going to have to buy into wanting to play like that. But, like, I hate it. It's so fucking boring. It's like, it reminds me of the New York Islanders. Like, they're not high event at all. They're very low event hockey, and that's boring as shit to me. So, I hope that Carolina, gets knocked out when we don't have to mimic them, because it's a copycat league like every other league, and teams are going to be trying to copy whatever team wins this year like they have every other year. Like what's the big thing right now? Getting big long defensemen like Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And I mean before that it was the modeling after the Avs, and before that you're modeling after Tampa, and like, hey, it's a copycat league. So I'm really hoping that the structure doesn't get modeled after if Carolina goes far, and hoping that they don't win the cup so that doesn't happen.
I'm not the total opposite, but I just love, like, nothing annoys me more than an unstructured defense. So like they make me happy, and they've kind of grown into, like, Natchez is a totally different player than he has been in other years, and now you have Jake Gensel. Like I don't know, it's not quite like the Islanders. If when I look at them, I see more skill there than there has been.
Brutal. So we got Marner out till at least next weekend, I'm thinking, and Yarncroke's supposed to be back early April, but that's like 7 days from now too. So you think this team's going to look different for the last several games? Do you think there's going to be the regular rest because Mitch Marner hasn't played? You think he's going to play every game going into the end of the season here? How do you think this works out?
I would think so. Like I've always thought that like there's at least a week from the time that he starts skating and practicing until he's back. So I don't know. The countdown hasn't really started yet. The team's definitely going to be like any team that doesn't have Mitch Marner on it that could is different. So like even like this, like the Leafs have been to me a little bit of more of a boring team since he's been gone, because like he's the guy that does the cool stuff. Like he creates space. He's like doing all the like stuff in the offensive zone. So like he's definitely the missing piece. Yarncroke like just gives us way more depth, and like he's a penalty killer, responsibility down the lineup, and it's never bad. He doesn't, but I don't think he like necessarily changes the team. So, but Marner, like no question, yeah. It's been rough without Marner, to be honest. Like that guy is like, I know this is the Nick Kyprios thing, but like he's the engine that drives this bus, and it's never, it's not obvious when he's in the lineup, but it sure is obvious when he's not, because like the last 2 minutes chasing a game, like that's the guy you want, like the puck on his stick. And
I know
Matthews
he would have made such a difference tonight, eh?
Oh yeah,
huge difference tonight if Marner was there. They might have had a couple more goals, but really it's hard to judge this team right now with Marner being out. A nice big win against the Oilers last night, but like you want to take away from the wins, but you almost can't take away from anything at this point. It is what it is, and we'll just have to see what this team looks like when it's back healthy. So give it another week, maybe 2, and then we got
like 4 games left.
3 weeks, worth of games left in total. So we'll be looking at the end of the season, and I mean they're pretty much guaranteed a first round appearance. I think their numbers get like 4 right now or something like that. Their magic number, they have to win 4 more games to be in. So pretty close. You got anything else on this game here tonight, CP?
No. The only thing like I would add to that is like this is maybe the one time that Mitch Marner will play like the games leading up to the playoffs. So like maybe that'll be good for his game, because he's always struggled to kind of get going initially. But he's also always sat like at least 1 or 2. So yeah,
and
maybe it will be good.
I was wondering too.
Yeah.
Does it ramp him up and he maybe works better? And those kind of games at the end are always kind of garbage games, right? Like, the last year, I mean, like Pierre Engvall was scoring goals and guys go on runs and like guys that you don't expect. Like I can't even remember. There was like, I think one year Freddie Goat went on a run at the end of the year. It was like the last 10 games. He looked amazing. But like, yeah, it's just like the guys who aren't good, they go and they get their cookies, and that's the guys that end up with their 10 at the end of the year. They score 2 or 3 in the garbage games when they get some extra time. But I'm wondering and I'm hoping that maybe Matthews sticks around because they want Marner and Matthews to start clicking again and whatever have you, and that it actually works in the Leafs' favor that he had to miss this time. So that way they're kind of ramping back up and in, to their comfortability and at 100% when playoffs come. Yeah. But so for now, that's a wrap. When are we back? I forgot to check that again. The Leafs play again on Tuesday against the New Jersey Devils, who are absolutely cooked. They are out of the playoffs and done ski.
Yeah,
but
beat the Islanders today, I think. Yeah.
Did they beat the Islanders today? They're still cooked. They're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, shutout win.
They're cooked. Yeah,
Kakkonen had the shutout.
Yeah. They're still done. And the Islanders were cooked last week.
Oh yeah.
So like
it's a couple of cooked teams.
Yeah, those teams are just pooched. So it was a battle of the mids tonight. But just whoever wants a worse draft pick at this point, going home for ego. Anyways, we'll wrap this one up. Split the Defense, Leafs postgame. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting. Hit that like button. Subscribe on YouTube. Please rate and review the show. You can find us on X at STDP Hockey and search for Split the Defense on all other socials. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Later.
Thanks for tuning in to Split the Defense.
Split the Defense.
Leafs postgame edition. Hosted by Jordan Webster, Craig Pearce, and producer Ted Evans. Split the Defense is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004, serving the Kingston and surrounding areas.